The sound of a granular assault blurs our ears as the nearby sandstorm rages. Massive work lights illuminate an otherwise dim runway. A ship sits at one end. It resembles a pirate ship. Cannons, helm, even a large sail with a spiral insignia covering most of its real estate. Only, this pirate ship appears mechanical. Iron siding and the unmistakable rumble of an idling engine. The sound of the raging tempest fades as the vessel begins to take off. The sail ripples in a uniform fashion as it lifts into the air, sending the sand and debris around it flying in all directions. Suddenly, a bolt of magical energy flies by the ship, just missing it. Just a moment later, another shoots past, and then another, and another. The ship begins to accelerate as we see a man on the runway, his coat torn and covered in blood. He casts another bolt as he is tackled to the ground. A woman with pale skin and fiery red hair overpowers the man, sending them both to the ground. They both struggle to get up, exhausted from their fight. The woman stands and watches as the ship flies off into the storm. She looks back at the man, and her eyes lock onto his as a tear rolls down her cheek. That's what the Quimbleys would do. Applause rocks the town square as a young boy in a classic school uniform is escorted off the stage. A man dressed in whatever the fantasy version of a clown suit would be comes out speaking into a Britney Spears microphone. You know, like the ear ones. Oh. Give it up for Little Tommy Two Toes. I don't know the last time I heard such a beautiful rendition of the Duradera national anthem. He then spends 25 seconds pulling a series of handkerchiefs from his breast pocket to wipe the tears from his eyes.
Oh my God.
All right. Are we having a good time so far? And the crowd erupts into screaming and cheering. Well, give it up for our fearless leader, the great Barnabas Quincy III. There are definitely less cheers, but still a lot. Barnabas Quincy III walks out in his trademarked white and gold suit, his golden hair blowing in the wind, and he steps up with a mic in hand. It has been precisely 7 days since we left our home in Yonder, and I know that some of you are unhappy with our decision, and who could blame you? Especially with the way things shook out, what with the plane crash and all. Thing is, it's been a tough few days for our people, and I couldn't begin to understand what some of you are going through. So in this tough time, I decided that a gift was in order. If you'll look under your seats, you'll find a very nice flask filled with the finest liquor this side of the spatial divide. I know you're scared, but let's drink and be merry. And we cut away to town square in disarray. Light poles have been knocked over. Trash lines the streets. The burned remains of a flipped flying car lie nearby.
We're in Space Philly, guys.
It's been
Bruh, give me 2 seconds.
It hasn't been a long time. It's been 10 minutes. That whiskey was real good.
The stage is set up in town square once again as Barnabas stands at its center. He addresses his people once again, except that his people are much dirtier and much more ornery. Here we are at week 3 floating through space. I must admit that free-flowing booze might not have been the best idea, but we're learning a lot about each other here, aren't we? For instance, a crowd of drunk people can turn into a riot very quickly. You might have thought that the Philadelphia Spoon Egg Boys lost a game or something.
Oh my God.
That escalated, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, I've learned my lesson, and we're going to do away with the free booze policy and outlaw it entirely for the time being.
What the fuck?
Barnabas is interrupted by an eruption of boos and screams and a few tomatoes flying at the stage. This isn't permanent, but rather a test to figure out the best way for us to run our city under these new circumstances. I promise things are going to be better this way. We cut away again to Town Square. Much worse.
Yep.
There are active fires being put out by robot guards. Many of the citizens in the crowd don eye patches and slings. Robots guard...
The iPad and sling sellers are going rampant.
Dude.
Robot guards line the edges of the crowd as Barnabas once again gives a speech. Okay, that one's definitely on me. That was the longest 3 days of my life. Things have escalated so much more quickly than before. Like, that was crazy, you guys. I'm gonna need you to give me a little grace here. I'm trying my best. And I know that things aren't ideal, but I'm just not sure what you want from me.
More booze!
A man from the crowd with a bandaged head raises his hand and begins to speak. Oh, what if... And he is immediately interrupted by a robot guard pulling him away out of the crowd.
Oh.
Barnabas sees this and he's like, no, wait. And then he sighs and pinches the bridge of his nose as he's pulled out of sight. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to build a suggestion box for you all to submit suggestions for what might make Duradera life better for you. And then we'll all work together to make things a little better. What do you say? That sounds pretty good, right? Barnabas looks around at the crowd as they remain silent. Cut to Town Square, a caricature of its former self. Practically the ruins of what it once was. It's still functioning, so it's not literally ruins, but shit's fucked.
The plane crash has never been repaired.
Yeah, there's just a giant crater outside of Town Square.
And Yamcha's inside.
It appears that some of you have decided to take things into your own hands. Some, air quotes, brave citizens have decided to dress up and fight the city guards. This sort of behavior will not be tolerated. The city guards are only here for your own protection, and I assure you that should we find out which of you are doing this, you will be duly punished. Moving on. Your suggestions were all pretty terrible. Most of them were just, let's go back to Duradera, or more free booze. You've got to help me, people. I want things to get better just as much, if not more, than you all. So I've come up with a new plan. I will be forming a committee with some of the brightest minds in the city to work to figure out how to get things back on track here in town. Be it restructuring things or cracking down on these vigilantes or whatever it may be, I assure you we will figure it out. And who is this team, you may be wondering? Well, I'll tell you. First, we have Duradera's top scientists, Janelle Rhinestone, and her assistant researcher, Bjorn, no last name. And they stand up and wave to the audience.
Is Bjorn giant?
Bjorn is a large man, and Janelle is equally large.
Oh.
Like, she is very tall.
These are some Viking motherfuckers.
Hair as white as snow.
Jotun asses.
You don't get the vibe that Janelle is like a fighter.
I think she's just a tall lady.
She's just like intimidating. A giant woman. Next, we have the head of City Hall's Human Resources Department, Stephen Frupp, who stands as well. Stephen's like super gangly. He's not super tall gangly. He's like
just
like
long.
Kind of average height, but really long, and it looks a little wrong.
He's got orangutan arms. You know how long those boys are.
As the voice of the people, we have beloved brother and sister theater duo, Jim and Jam Splat. They stand and bow to the people to much applause. Jim and Jam are kind of those, I kind of picture, have y'all seen Parks and Recreation where there's like the two Christian, the married couple that are weirdly incestuous and like they have blonde hair, they're kind of skinny and prim and proper, but they're beloved. This is the most applause you've seen from the crowd in
Was it even more
months.
than Barney?
Oh yeah,
Barney's been getting
Barney got
boos.
mixed. Yeah, Barney got mixed results on that first day,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's only
true,
gotten
true.
worse since then. Obviously, I will also be part of this committee as I am determined to figure out how to make my people's lives better. He looks proudly to the sky as he, for some reason, expects applause. And finally, the last members of this committee, J3B. Alandi and I have been working together to attempt to fix a number of problems in this little corner of space. And he assured me personally that he, Bon, and Carveth would work together tirelessly
Bon
to fix
immediately-
things.
So,
Save
hold on.
your questions
No.
to the end.
Hold on.
I know.
This
He's
is
just going to
important.
take to the stage. He's still very drunk.
This is
I know
just would
many
like-
of you
I
have
would just-
lost faith in me, but I ask you this.
Not working with this guy. Not working with
This
him.
is not the end.
Can't stress that enough. People don't work with him. Don't work with him.
Hold on. This is important.
Go ahead.
Alandi is the only one of J3B that's on stage. He also does not react to this announcement because Alandi is asleep. Like sitting in his chair, like asleep,
Yeah.
quietly snoring. Whether or not that gets addressed. But I do like the idea that fucking Bon is like in the back of the crowd.
No.
And fucking,
No. Just waving. Yeah, I'm just in the back holding my hands and just be like, again, not a part of that. Don't know what he's
Carveth
talking
is
about.
just like quietly like,
there's-
shh,
yeah.
it's fine. We know, it's fine. They know.
There's awkward, like, some applause, some, like, a lot of, like, murmuring. People aren't really sure what's going on. But Barnabas doesn't address you, Bon. And,
That's fine.
He leaves the stage. And the MC comes back on. He's like, all right, that committee sounds pretty great. I don't know about you guys, but what do you say we get this party bumping again? And music starts playing, and everyone starts wandering and moseying about town square, drinking and eating and chatting and all that sort of stuff. Bon and Carveth, the two of you are in the audience. Alandi is asleep on stage with the other members of the committee. And
Bon, like I said,
go ahead.
since the first time we got the booze, Bon has just been collecting those little flasks. And like he's not like he's playing up his drunkenness more so, but he is drunk. He's like slightly drunk. But he's definitely playing it up a whole lot more obnoxiously to give the vibe of like he's just lost in the sauce of like their failure. You can kind of tell,
Like
Carveth.
Like 2013 Matthew Ard.
Jesus.
Like
But no,
2024,
you can-
Jeremy has.
You can kind of tell though with having been around me there that
Mm-hmm.
I'm like playing it up more so just to kind of fuck with things, but we're in the back because like if I was at the front, things would have gotten out of
Mm-hmm.
hand.
You would have been taken away by the robots.
Who do you think is supplying this town with rotten tomatoes? There's a guy. You think there's a guy who's just got crates and boxes full?
There's definitely
when Barnabas is your president, you got to keep him nearby. You know, you got to keep that thing on you.
I think we got. Yeah, I think we should like. I don't know. I don't want to work with that committee business, but we could go around delivering rotten tomatoes to people to throw whenever there's another town hall meeting. That'd be fun. It's like a delivery service they didn't ask for, but they'll be thankful for.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you have the
Also,
needs of the people.
They
on
definitely
your mind.
ghosted a guy, right? You saw that guy get pulled away, and they did nothing about it.
Yes, I did. Did I notice like where they
to be
took
fair,
him?
that was at the last
okay.
meeting,
Oh,
which
okay,
would have
yeah,
been
yeah. Okay, never
weeks
mind.
ago.
Has
So
that-
y'all would have
well,
already talked
well,
about
let me
that.
ask you this,
I was
DM.
trying to get across that each of those was a different
Right.
meeting
Let
further
me,
on
let me,
during
let
this
me
time
ask you
jump.
this then, DM. Has that been happening more often? Have people who have been protesting
I'm sure.
also been disappear? Yep. So my topic of it.
I shouldn't say disappeared. Like you haven't like people
They've
aren't
been
going
arrested
missing,
and
but
probably
people have
charged for
been
shit.
like beat up.
They've been
or
taken to Lake Lao guy.
some people have been taken to Lake Lao guy. But like you hear from them again. They just, they might have been, convinced to, fall in line.
They were re-educated.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And I shouldn't make it sound like everybody like this is everybody's being like it's not like that rampant, but it's happening.
Oof.
Well,
I know you probably don't want to, so don't feel like you have to, but I think I'm gonna go talk to Ilandi and see what the fuck is up with that. Because I did not volunteer to be on any stupid fucking committee.
We have on record on this show that Carveth doesn't like being voluntold what to do.
Oh, yes. Definitely not.
Listen, things between me and him are still a little dicey. But I don't hate him. I'm mad at him for this shit for sure. That's like another, check on the old list of why I'm not talking to him. But
add it to the pile. I know.
Yeah, just here, and he just hands you a folded up note. Give this to him.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'm gonna go to the barn.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say I'll see you at the barn in a little while, and then we can kind of regroup from there.
And while I told my brother this, that is not at all where Bon is going.
Oh shit.
Okay. Well, let's first.
Yeah, they do their
follow
yes.
Carveth going to talk to Alandi.
So Carveth is probably just gonna kind of keep a low profile. I don't think he really appreciates.
Well, Alandi's still asleep on stage.
So just ask him,
around the other people,
Just to be clear, that was like the end of the presentation thing, right? Like after that, like people started shuffling out. Like
now, it's just like a party time.
Yeah, okay, I would like to imagine that you're still asleep up there.
That's what I was clarifying. By this point, the row of chairs is still there, but Alandi is the only person, and he's sitting. Hasn't moved a muscle.
They've begun taking the stage apart, but they're gonna let you sleep until they get to you.
Yeah, they have workers that kind of walk over and like don't know what to do, so they just kind of go work on something else.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely want to keep a low profile. Not so much for Malandi because I'm going to talk to him, but just like other people because I don't really super like the fact that I just got called out to be on this like committee. So I'll just kind of stay low, but we'll go talk to Alandi.
Go ahead.
Carveth will walk up on stage and just kind of kneel down in front of Alandi and just kind of like flick him on the head.
That's a 14 for head flick.
He is concussed.
What does that wake you up?
Yeah.
Alandi?
So
Boston.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a quick like. No, for sure.
Don't ask that defensive, Jeremy.
It's been a while since you had to listen. It's been a while since you had to be this character. You were recently Russian. You were recently Russian. All right.
Just because I have a consistent habit of failure does not mean
it's fine. Certain words will just trip you right into Russian. Like you'll be like, I don't know. And it's like, oh no.
No. To be fair, I probably say that so much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, continue with your scene.
Yes.
Oh God, if you do a drinking game to I mean, we would all fucking die.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, liver failure.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Alandi. How are you doing today?
He's like gonna rub his eyes. He's got like really bad bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
Unshaven.
Does he stink?
Are you shaved?
Oh yes, unshaven. To be clear, Alandi cannot grow a beard. It's patchy. Like he's not one of the people who can grow a beautiful beard.
Well, you're part elf. So.
Yeah, he's clean shaven out of necessity, not out of like it would look gross. And he's just like he's hey, what oh, it's over?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's been over for like 20 minutes. You just look like you were sleeping really good, so I was going to just let you sleep for a little bit.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still kind of. How's Bond doing?
He's doing pretty good actually.
Hey, now that guy's awake, can y'all get off the stage? We're trying to. We're trying.
Yeah, we gotta fold these chairs. You guys gotta move.
Sorry.
Come on, we'll go grab a chair somewhere else.
Let's
Is there like a little fountain like in the middle of the thing? Like
It's fucking ruined, I bet.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's functioning, but yes,
okay.
there is an old function.
It's just like one
smells
stream of.
It just smells
Is
like
it the-
piss.
It's like the three
smells
tiered,
like
but the top of
hepatitis.
it is bent, and so it's like
It smells
squirting
like
into the street.
the sidewalks
Exactly.
of LA.
How would you feel about just getting out of here? It's a little crowded. We could talk somewhere else.
Do you want to hang out at my garage? We're working. Me and my boys my other boys.
Yeah.
Me and my
This is so awkward.
me and my baby boys. Yeah, there you go. I like that. Me and my baby boys working on.
You better not call them that to their face, Jeremy.
They're my baby boys. I will call them that to their face.
Yeah,
And canonically, I have been. Whether or not they like it is a different question.
Fair.
This through line to every Jeremy character: doing something to annoy someone without caring.
And to be fair, a lot of times that person is me.
Yeah. Let's go back to your place. Let me see what you're working on.
Yeah, so y'all mosey on back to Alandi's garage that he says he's been kind of holing up in, making his base with his posse. And the two of you walk in to find Toodlin, Rankin, and Scrawn, those three kids he found and taught Yahtzee.
Yeah.
The three of them are working on some engines. They've got some flying bikes in the garage they're working on. Alandi would know this, but they're trying to figure out how to make some of these mechanisms work now that y'all are newly in space.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to just figure all that kind of stuff. They haven't made a whole lot of progress, but
Yeah.
they're just trying to figure this stuff out.
Especially Scrawn.
Toodlin, the leader of the group, kind of steps up as the two of you walk in, and he does the fist in hand thing. He's like, "Hey, boss, is this guy okay?" I don't remember their voices, but this is what
it's
they are
fine.
now. I didn't expect them to
Yeah.
come back ever. Is this guy okay?
Oh no, it's totally fine. Any luck? I'm assuming not, because usually
No.
the answer is not.
No,
that's
definitely not.
What about hold on. We talked about I said like what if we like glued a bunch of the hover bikes together? Did that didn't go anywhere?
No. And then Rankin speaks up. He's like, "No, we didn't even try that. That didn't really make sense to us, so we just didn't want to waste our time."
Oh, you're gonna come back to it though. No, that's fair. Yeah, you guys are smart. I think it'll work. But yeah. No, I just wanted to. This is my brother. God, it's crazy that you guys haven't met. It's been 3 months. Huh.
There's just like an awkward silence.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then after this awkward silence goes on for a minute, Scrawn speaks up and he says, "I made a bunny." And it's just a piece of metal carved into the shape of a bunny.
This is very important. Alandi like looks and he's just like, "Scrawn, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Go put it with the others." And
that's
there's just a
pretty-
wall.
He
Pile
walks
of-
over and there's a shelf of various small woodland creatures.
Oh wow.
Oh no, there's multiple shells at this point.
Oh yeah.
Like it's actually starting to take up real estate in the garage.
In the garage.
like
Like my pops.
yeah, it's becoming
Exactly, it's
like
just a
Exactly
wall.
like that.
You said that was Scrawn?
Yeah.
I'm gonna like kneel down because they're pretty small, right? How
Yeah,
old is it?
they're
teenagers.
They're mid to late teens.
Teens. Okay, well, like I'll just kind of like.
puberty. They're adult.
Okay.
They're like adult height.
Okay, I don't know. I don't remember. That was like
Haven't
5
been
months
They're
ago.
all kind of short. I
Okay.
picture them as being short.
They can be shorter. Yeah.
Yep. I'll go over to Scrawn and do you mind if I take a look at your amazing artwork?
Yeah, but don't take the frog. That one's my favorite.
No, of course. I you know, these
I
are all
love
yours.
him.
Don't you damage his
I hate
frog.
that I'm just
Look,
stealing. I named them this as a joke reference to fantasy fiction, and now they're just characters in this story.
Yes. I
And
love
that's
that.
the trap you fall into. You make lovable NPCs. We will make sure they never die.
I'm sorry, Dom.
It's okay. Don't apologize.
Wow, this is really.
We'll give them back when they start the show up.
This is really good. Have you ever thought about making these into like, you know, sharpening the edges and making these into like throwing stars?
I'm not allowed to use sharp tools.
Somewhere Bon also sneezes at the idea of throwing woodland creatures as weapons.
They don't let me use the sharpener.
Alandi gets super wide-eyed, and he immediately like goes to Carveth, and is just like, "Oh yes, that's a good idea. Actually, Carveth, can we talk? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do? What
I just
about
thought
any
that
of
might
those?
be-
No, shut up. What about any of the interactions you had with this boy? Suggest you should teach him how to make weapons.
That would be a pretty cool like calling card. I mean, you like spike somebody in their fucking temple, and like there's just a fucking bunny like hanging out of their head. And
It's not that you're wrong. It's that you don't talk to him about that. What's wrong with you?
I mean, I'm sorry.
Rankin joins y'all's huddle, and he says, "Hey, what are we doing here? Like,
Oh,
I
we're,
was-
what's
see-
going on right now?"
we're just
Keep
talking
the show up
really
keep-
quietly.
Keep the show up away from Scrawn.
Oh, no, I know.
Carveth put, I don't know if you heard, Carveth put some really dangerous ideas in his head. You know how Scrawn can get sometimes. Just keep an eye on it. I trust him, but I
I'm
trust
pretty
you
sure
watching
Scrawn
him
already
better.
forgot. And you look over, and he's picking his nose.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Okay, listen,
Sweet
ever
child.
since the wrench accident, I'm on edge a little bit with that. So we don't need to talk about it. It's fine. But
You mean when he got the wrench stuck in his ear?
I wasn't gonna talk.
Or when he got the wrench stuck up his butt? Or was it whenever he almost knocked his eye out with a wrench?
This is all happened. That all happened in the same day. That all happened in the same
That's what I
day.
was about to say. Like,
It was a rough birthday for Scrawn.
Oh no, his birthday.
No. It was the same wrench. It was the same wrench repeatedly. We threw that wrench away just for safety, but
Did you get another wrench or?
as Scrawn asks, no, we did not.
Okay.
Did you say we got a new wrench?
No. No. We the wrench store. We keep going. It's out.
I've still got a couple holes to try. I'm sure it'll fit in one.
I think so. Oh,
Shoot, why didn't I try my mouth first? That would have made the most sense.
I think I just saw. Is that a smudge on your frog? I think that's a smudge on your frog.
Oh, out. Toodle in. What do I do? Just
Clean it.
wipe it off. Like, just grab it and come with me. We'll wipe it off. And then they fuck off.
Good.
Rankin stays in case you need him.
Wow.
Rankin,
Wow.
you're totally good. I just you can keep working. If you need anything from me, just give me a holler. I'm gonna be in my office, just office bedroom. Just kind of talking to my brother.
And we just go to a
You
different
are-
part of the garage.
Are you okay, Alandi? You're kind of. It feels like you're having trouble getting your thoughts across, and you look like shit. I mean, you've looked like shit for months, but like, okay.
I don't know how to answer that. I'll be in my office with my brother.
And we just walk
and
to
he
a
goes
different
back
corner.
he goes back to. No, he has an office.
Okay.
But
I
it looks
said
terrible.
garage. Like I'm picturing it like a mechanics garage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like it's a
exactly.
mechanics garage. So
Gotcha.
like I imagine there's
Gotcha.
gonna be an office, there's gonna be a bathroom, and there's gonna be like
There's
a
an
locker
office with
room.
like a big window that looks
Yeah.
into the garage.
Like the reception.
He does have an office with like that glass that like goes where you can look into the garage itself. You can't see through it though because this quote unquote office is his office, and it's also his bedroom. And apparently he's been like cleaning himself with a very dirty rag at this point.
Oh no.
No.
It is not.
So this
man,
this room
Alandi
has been
Alandi's been living out of this room,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So this has been your home for the last 3 months, essentially.
Yes.
Is there? I assume there's probably like notebooks, papers everywhere. Do you have like
Food leavings.
stuff strewn about? Like you've been like? Is it clear to anyone who's in here that you have been like?
No, it's
Like, is this your Pepe Sylvia room, or is this more like trash?
no. This is full pigsty. Like
Depression cave.
this is
Yeah.
Depression Cave.
Depression
yes.
Cave is exactly what it is.
This is Depression Cave.
Oh, I know it. Just climbed out of mine.
Literally, if it weren't for the fact that this garage has a bathroom, it would be much worse. But
Oh man.
thankfully, the
God.
garage does have a
Thank
bathroom.
God those still work.
Yeah. But yeah, like Alandi,
Bond knows a lot about that.
Alandi finds a chair that was like propping up like a shelf that had broke and just lets the shelf fall with the stuff on it and like dusts it off and sets it down for
Okay.
you.
Thank you. So, I haven't really spoken with you in a minute. How have you been?
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why
Your passive
where's-
insight rolled a natural 1.
What?
He's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm doing,
I think Carvet could tell.
I'm doing good. How's Bon? How are you? How are you guys?
We're managing. I'm just, trying to keep busy, I have this for you, and I'll hand him the note from Bon. He wanted me to give this to you. He had to go do something.
Really?
So, yeah. So, you don't have to read it right now. You could just open it up a little later. I don't need to know, I know you guys have some anyway.
No, thank you. He takes it and like he goes to put it on his desk, which is covered in clutter. Without a second thought, he just sweeps the desk like with his arm,
Yeah.
Completely.
throws it,
Yeah.
and then puts it to where there's just like half a dirty desk still, and then on one side it is clean in that it's just crumbs and small debris, and Bond's letter is just sitting in the middle.
Oh, that's good. That way so you don't lose it, But I do have a quick question for you. I know you were sleeping, that entire time for the announcements from
That doesn't sound right. I was closing my eyes. I was focusing. I was just really into the.
you don't have to lie to me. I know when you're sleeping.
Doesn't sound right.
Why are we something about Barney said something about being in a like council or something, and
Oh yeah, the committee. The Make Dura Great Again committee. Yeah.
Nope.
wait.
Even Barney, I'm just gonna keep that out of.
So
That's too far for Barney, honestly.
you kind of volunteered me and Bond without asking.
No. You listen, you guys don't. I didn't ask you because I knew what your answers would be. I really knew what Bond's answer would be, and I just didn't. I didn't want to bother you guys with it. I told him not to say J3B. Or I think I was going to.
You didn't tell them, did you?
I'm not.
We see Alandi and Barnabas sitting in an office in town hall. This is actually Alandi's temporary office, since he's been working alongside Barnabas to try to fix some of the issues and figure out some of this kind of stuff. And Barnabas walks in and He is dressed just as nice as he always is, and he kind of knocks on the door and pokes his head in, and he says, hello, Alandi. Do you have a minute?
Alandi had his head like full down, like clearly like, but like where he was like sleeping in the way where like just your forehead is laying on the edge of the desk, you know?
Yeah.
And like he like pops up and goes, oh, yeah, sorry, I was something on the what's up, Percy, Bonnie, what's up? Hi. How's it going on your end of things?
Not great. So the suggestion box was just it didn't go great. So I've been trying to come up with some ideas.
Were you able to recover those tainted suggestions? It's that with the
like the ones people rubbed on their taints? No, we lost those.
I was gonna be
for the better, I think.
Oh my God.
No. So I have been talking to a few people, and we came up with the idea of starting a committee to try to work this out collaboratively, because obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I wouldn't say this if there were more people around. What would you? I would be honored, and I think it would be really great to have some outsider perspective. What would you think about you and your little posse joining this committee? Do you think they would be a fan of that? Even if just for one, like, look, I know that things with us are a little difficult right now, but even if just for one meeting, because I'm sure they have good ideas, just one meeting, and then if they don't like it, then they can go home. That would even be good enough for me.
Yeah. That would probably yeah, I mean I think for now maybe we should just say I'm definitely in.
Okay.
And I'll get a read of the room. I'll feel it out, and I'll let you know.
He would not get a read of the room.
Okay, then. Sounds good. I'll be talking to you.
Man, that was weird. Do you feel like we both paused and thought about the past, like in a really detailed way for a second there? Anyway,
you mean the flashback?
Oh.
I mean, I do that sometimes. It's
Somewhere Bond sneezes.
No, somewhere Bond is just like pinching the bridge of his nose for no reason. He just got a mild headache.
mm-hmm.
He's brooding on a rooftop.
Oh, not yet.
Not quite.
Not
But-
quite. It's not nightfall.
Yeah,
Not
you
quite.
The moon rises at night.
The moon rises.
listen.
Wait, we don't have a moon, do we?
not in
No,
space?
Yes.
We're in
We-
space.
Anyway,
Yeah, we have a moon.
well, actually, I did think about this. I think they have artificial sun and moon going around the dome to make people like it's
love
basically
it.
artificially creating a day and night
it's like
cycle
a cool,
for
like
everyone.
hologram domes.
Yeah.
Nice. Spared no expense.
It's like the Wall-E spaceship.
space.
I'm actually what I actually picture is in Avatar: The Last Airbender when they're in the library and there's the
Yeah.
moon and sun whenever they're predicting the
Yeah.
eclipse. That's what I'm actually picturing. Just a little.
It's like a
more
bunch of little
advanced.
gears moving them and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Look, I'm gonna get to the point here.
You guys don't have to worry about the you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
we're-
it.
we're not coming to the meeting. But what is our plan here? Like,
What do you mean?
It's been 3 fucking months. What do you mean? What does he mean?
I mean,
You're not here, Bond.
I know I'm not here. Bond didn't say that. Kyle did.
so you've been on the inside. You've been, infiltrating. I'm assuming you have an idea of how we can get back to Dare.
To what?
Nope, yonder.
We're in
Yonder?
Dara
Okay.
currently in space.
I think you actually said Dare earlier when you meant to say Wanderful. I would double check that.
Or Yonder.
So I got confused for a sec.
No, I said Dare because I was
no,
saying
not you.
Tyler
Not,
may have mentioned
not Jeremy.
Dare.
Tyler.
Oh,
Tyler
okay.
during one of the. I would just double check.
Wait,
it, but-
Jeremy's not here. He's the guy in charge of the
Jesus
other-
Christ. So, how are we getting back to Wanderful?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wander.
Yonder.
Yonder. Look, it's been a hot fucking minute.
It's okay. It's
I had 3
okay.
tests this week.
We're
It's
back
okay.
in Wanderful
My
right
brain
now.
is-
Kyle still says Garrett every other time.
Yes,
he says his
Garrett
lover's
instead of
name.
Gareth.
So anyway, who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third.
Barney's on third. How are we getting back to Yonder? You have an idea, right? That's why you have the guys working on some sort of flying ship to get us off this fucking.
Kaveth, this is it.
No.
I'm
What do you mean this is it?
what could we're in space. We're who knows how far away. Half the magic people don't have half the magic because apparently some of it was tied to the planet itself. You know, it's like I'm just a thief. What? I'm a thief. You're a guy who kicks stuff, and Bond plays guitar. What? We can't. This is like 8 pay grades above us. We're done. This is us now.
You
I'm
realize
wor-
we've never gotten paid for anything we've ever done before, right?
It's literally not true.
It's literally. You know what? It's fine.
It's been a minute.
We
a fat minute
It's been a fat-
Since we've made
Look, we went on a quest at the start of this show, and I'm pretty sure I'm using the same money from that quest.
You are absolutely not. Matt, in real life, how are
absolutely
you
not.
so we've been paid multiple times for multiple
No, I know we
jobs.
have, but since we've been on our like, to be fair to Matt, since we
Look.
have been on our quest to do our stuff, we've
Yeah.
stopped doing quests that made us
we
money.
got
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
We have
Trivia night
found
was a
things.
quest.
We found things and we have found some money, but not enough as a significant thing until we've gotten here. And
I
then,
have
like, when we
60
got here,
gold.
yeah,
My-
I
I
have,
have
like,
Y'all
60
spent all of it.
gold.
My
But,
counter
like,
to
since we've
that,
got here, we
trivia
haven't-
night. Trivia night.
since we've gotten here, though, we haven't had to worry about it
Did
because
get
it's a
paid
barter
for trivia
system.
night.
Trivia
Dude.
night was absolutely a quest.
That was
like
but that was the
months
last
ago.
time. I think that was like literally
And
the
then
last.
you found a shit ton of money.
No,
in
that was
Genesis.
the last actual quest.
In where?
That's fair.
In Genesis.
Yeah.
The Throne Mountain.
Yeah.
yeah,
in the
yeah.
throne.
No, I remember that, but
How
that was
much
before.
money?
Yep.
We
No,
spent
y'all
all that
spent
already.
it.
We
Matt,
spent
this
it
is
already.
not the time.
Oh god.
It super
Regardless
doesn't
of whatever,
matter.
you're partially right. Matt.
Apparently,
Continue with what
fucking
y'all were
Matt
doing.
has lost all memory of everything that's ever happened.
back into
Look,
it.
Anyway,
And
I have
back
yes. So
and back.
yeah. So how are we going to get back? I mean, you can't
not-
think possibly that this is it.
You're not listening. This isn't. What the hell do you. I stole a plane and it immediately crashed and the sky sealed up, and now we're not getting back. I'm trying to make the best of this situation. Like, I don't know what you. I get
I
that
think
Bond's
you've given up.
gonna hate me until I die. And I've just come to terms with that. And you know what? He'll be alive. And as long as I keep making Bonnie happy, it'll stay that way. Because we both know Bond's not going to stay on the straight and narrow. And you've seen what they do to those people. Why do you think a robot didn't arrest him when he was drunkenly shouting in the crowd? Do you think they just stopped? You've been seeing them doing that. Have you not noticed? Why do you think that was? I'm with him so that you two don't end up like a lot of the other people in this city. And if you both end up hating me for it, that's fine, because you'll be alive. And I would rather you both hate me and alive than disappeared and who knows what. Most of the time, the people are showing back up now. But if you don't think he's going to escalate, I don't think you've talked to him enough, because I've talked to him a lot. He's going to escalate. He put a fucking tree through our dad. He's going to do something. And I'm making sure we stay on the right side. And that's what I got. That's all I got.
Alandi, I don't think you know this right now, but we don't hate you. We still care about you. And I know you've given up, but we haven't.
I've come to terms. I understand that you guys haven't. But
after all this time, I thought you would have known that we're not just these average people. We can take care of ourselves. We're going to keep stirring the pot. I will get this back. And you could bet your life on that. And Carveth stands up and walks out.
As you open the door, you accidentally knock over the three of them peeping in with their ears against the door, and they fall over. And Rankin, the leader of the group, says to you, "Well, that was beautiful, but you've got my help." And Toodlin says, "And my help." And Scrawn says, "And my wrench."
That's a good Lord of the Rings. I like that.
I appreciate that, you guys. I'll reach out my hand and help each one of them up. And just to remember, I think those cute little animals would make great throwing stars. Really sharpen those puppies up. And I'll dap them each up, and then I'll just walk out.
As you dap up Scrawn, you see an intense fire in his eyes, and you are a little terrified for a second, but then you walk off.
Hell yeah.
Alandi, you are left in this room. Rankin comes up and closes the door, leaving you inside alone because he knows you like your alone time, especially these days. And you're left sitting there at this desk staring at the floor, and you see that note from Bon on your desk.
Alandi is not emotionally ready to read it yet. He looks at it, he picks it up, and then he puts it back down. And he goes and starts cleaning up the shelf that he knocked over.
Oh, that's progress.
Yeah.
That's progress.
Exactly.
He's cleaning now?
Exactly.
He's cleaning.
We're stirring him. Yeah, you're stirring him out of his funk. You're stirring him out of his funk.
I'm cleaning.
I'm cleaning.
Bon,
Yes.
What did you go do when you left Town Square?
I went to the barn, but I did not enter the barn.
Okay.
I went behind the barn, down a small alleyway, to a manhole cover that I am quite familiar with.
Oh.
And down in this manhole cover is a little shanty shack that he's been building over the past 3 months. And hanging on a little makeshift rack is one of the pilot suits. Not done up or anything, but one of Finn's pilot suits with the name tag removed, a couple of the pockets removed. It's obviously in works of being touched up, being done up with his disguise kit and just his own stuff. And as he walked away from Carveth didn't see it, but he shook the fake drunk in his eyes off and just is kind of walking. As he's walking, he's sort of just watching, looking at things, like maybe pointing out like whether or not he sees anybody particular as he's going to this manhole, and he goes down into his small little high hole. It's like a cot made out of like scrap clothes and parts and stuff that is off in a corner. A little wall with a diagram and a map next to that with like little key points, like the library, Barney's big like office or capitol building situation, town square, the barn.
So you've been constructing a map of
the city, like slowly piecing it together
city.
based on like a tourist map, but then adding my own little details to that.
For sure.
I think he's just quiet for a moment. He kind of sits looking at his flask. He's in very similar sort of condition to how Alandi is. A bit more disheveled than normal, still in his overalls, but a little, not necessarily the Bond special of like giving a shit about a lot of stuff. It's not that it's not clean, but it's not ironed and pressed perfectly. His hair isn't it's in a messy fucking top knot, and he's just kind of going through things. And I think he sits at his desk for a bit, and you see a stack of these letters and stuff, and like you don't see every name on these, but the top one at the bottom, he has a with love, Bond. And you don't see the words or whatever. He kind of like moves that off to the side as he grabs the suit and still is doing work on his suit.
Yeah.
And I think once it gets closer to like maybe an hour or so after Carveth had left, he probably leaves and actually goes into the barn.
I will say that town hall or the town square meeting was probably happening in the late afternoon, early evening.
Yeah. So once night kind of hits, that's when he goes to the barn. It's fine. You know? And I think he would meet up with them from there. He's not really staying with either of them. He doesn't really tell them too much of where he is. He just tells them, you can probably find me at the barn.
Them being just whoever's
his brothers,
there?
His brothers.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't think Alandi came, I should say.
No, I figured
right?
that's fine, but like,
yeah.
He hasn't
But you did
spoken
meet
to
up with
any of them
Carveth.
quite about his whereabouts, other than like he hangs out. He frequents the barn a lot.
Carveth has been sleeping alone in his apartment.
Yeah.
In a semi-destroyed apartment, I might add, because Bond made it very clear at the end of the last season that he was like throwing that jug around, like dragging it on the tile and shit. So it's like,
Yeah, no, it's
Carveth
fucked up
has
from
fixed
when
it
I was
up.
drunk.
Carveth has probably cleaned it up. It's been a
because
few
there was
months.
some there was some
No one's-
structural damage.
No one's been there except for me. So Carveth's like gotten into carpentry and like house like he's kind of become a homebody a little bit. Like
I think
there's a little gym in the corner, like it's got like the little
little home
it's got
gym with a
like, the
Peloton
iron
bike.
gym.
Come on, Peloton, keep it up.
Yeah.
I need to
You just see
real quick.
Carveth is
No,
like
you're good. But I think like a Cheers situation, he's like become very, very friendly with the regulars and the clientele of the barn. And so it's like, Norm, they're like, Bond. He's like, that's the
what
whole
you gonna
shit of it.
do?
Exactly. He just like you said, the stirring the pot thing is just him. He's constantly like pivoting the conversation to how fucked up the system is. At any point, he's just like, I know this is all great and all, but like
That one guy.
these town square meetings, what are they doing? You know, like what is this? First he gives us all booze, then he takes the booze away. Then he gives us a suggestion box after the city has already been torn to shit. I think I know the main suggestion that is on everybody's mind, and that's, let's go back. Let's get out of space. I don't like it in a dome. I miss my family, friends. And I'm not saying that they were leaving Duradera, but there were people left behind for sure who don't know what happened. I think that says a lot. His blatant disregard for his own people, as well as the lives he's affecting by doing this. I'm not trying to make things somber, everything. I know, Bond's here, it's the party, you know. I'm just... Someone's really got to say something to that guy. And I don't just mean a suggestion in the box. I don't just mean a yell from the crowd. Someone's got to really tell him like it is.
we're saying this in the barn.
Yes,
right?
he's kind of talking to his group. I was saying beforehand,
I
and it's
think
already in.
Finn. Yeah,
He's got a
sorry.
few people that like kind of know him, like the Norm and from Cheers.
I assume
situation.
Finn is part of
Yeah,
his crew.
and he's just talking.
I
with,
think
like
Finn kind of speaks up and says, "Well, you're a part of his committee, right? So that
Finn, I'll be
might be
honest
a great
with you.
time to."
Finn, I'll be
him.
honest. I'll be honest with you. I'm sure that plan and these words he said of me being a part of this committee is something cooked up by my brother to keep us safe from him and his goon squad of robots. And I appreciate that. However, I am not the one to speak. I'm not from here. And I have made it abundantly clear on several occasions that I wish harm upon this man. I don't think I'll be getting anywhere near him without...
But you not being from here, does that mean that your voice is less useful in this situation? Like, I know you're not from here. I was born and raised here, and I mean, things are.
I don't mean to say it to wash my
and
hands.
I think that your voice could be just as important as anyone else's, and
but
if you want to change things for the better.
I mean, you're right for sure. I won't deny you there, and it's not for a lack.
I'm not
of
trying to
trying.
tell you what to do. I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't mean
what
to.
What I mean to say is, who am I to speak for you all? I know I have a position.
Someone who cares.
I think that just hit him for a second. He just kind of stops, like gagged by that. Like
I wouldn't want to be in a committee with that shithead either, but I think it's worth noting at least that you have an opportunity, whether or not you choose to take it. Like, you're your own person,
right?
But you clearly have things you wish to say to him.
I think,
and you have an invitation to his house.
Yeah, I think I need to. I think I need to clean my act up a little bit. I don't mean to say to fall in line or kiss any boots, but
I don't think anyone expects that of you, Bond.
Yeah, I think
Tor kind of leans over and like nudges you with his shoulder.
I just kind of smile, nudge him back. I think all this wallowing in self-pity for the past 3 months is over. I think I need to hit the streets and talk to people like you guys who've been here, see what they're living through, hear their stories. And if I can get a fraction of what they're feeling and a fraction of what they want or need heard by me,
maybe they'll sign my petition.
Maybe I could, I don't know. Maybe I can show him. Maybe it's not about telling him. Maybe it's about showing him. He seems like a man of do first, think later. This is a entirely unrelated, do you happen to know do you know if there's any clothier stores here that might sell dyes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they trying to think of how
like a crafty
how they would do
store,
this.
just something with paints and things like that.
Over on the east part of town, there's Joanne's Fabrics.
Johann's Fabrics?
Joanne's Fabrics.
Joanne's Fabrics.
Barney's Fabrics.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, this is canonically the first fucking place not named after Barnabas Quincy III.
Yeah.
It might be named after his family. You don't know.
I was just going to
God.
I mean, I know a lot of stuff is branded with that turd's face and name, but tomorrow not tomorrow. If you have some time while we're floating in space, you should show me around some of the more mom and pop establishments, like stuff that's not quite under Barney's boot yet.
Sure thing.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just can't help but feel like through all of this, I might have to, I might butt heads more with my brother than I already have. He means well, even if it's stupid and cowardly. He's just looking out for our best interests, I guess, but not really. He's on some sort of fight or flight survival instincts now that we've kind of gotten stuck here. I get that. But I'm less about the flighting. More feeling closer to the fighting.
I think Tor speaks up next to you and he says, well, I'll be honest, I haven't known the three of you very long, but you don't all strike me as that much of quitters. I mean, we've all been through some shit, and things can get bad or get dark, but I don't imagine the three of you, after everything that's happened, are going to go down without a fight. And if you are, then maybe you're not the people that I thought you were. And he kind of nudges you again.
No. I think I think a lot of people here need some sense slapped into them. And whether or not that's going to cost my ass, who's to say? But we got to start somewhere. And I think, as much as I love this and the hangouts, I think I might be scarce for a little while I figure some stuff out.
Well, you're always welcome here at this table. Here.
And I think he does like a little final toast. Thank you.
So what's your plan? What are you
Bond's piecing
thinking?
together
Like you don't have to tell us everything. But
Bond is going to be piecing together his suit.
Cool.
While also trying to gather the vibe of people throughout Duradera. We don't have to be like minute about it and like go person to person, but like he's definitely hitting the streets like while collecting these items to start his grander plan. He's like just using it as like a thing of like, hearing out people here, helping clean up certain things and stuff, like getting not quite getting the city back in order for Barney's sake, but getting it back in order for the people's sake.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, amongst doing his like fair share of charitable work and talking with people, he will be spending a majority of his time at night fixing his suit and working on his suit.
So I think that the three of you each catch word in the next couple days. Alandi directly, the other two of you more indirectly. I think Carveth, you're easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, I think Carveth is definitely my liaison for what's going on. Mm-hmm.
Carveth, you get a note at the apartment slid under your door that the committee is going to be meeting at the end of the week. And you are expected there. Obviously, you could choose to not show up. Alandi will be there, presumably.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Bond... I think Bond might show up, but I don't think he's going in per se. Like, if it's like a thing of like, is it a private meeting or is it like a meeting, like town hall meeting thing?
No, it's private.
It is private for just the
committee.
committee.
I thought it was a town hall meeting thing.
No,
okay,
it's not. It's not a public committee.
Then.
It is a private, like a committee meant to work some shit out and figure out actionable steps for moving forward. At least that's how they presented it. And you have, you don't necessarily recognize a lot of the other members. Alandi would have met all of the other members except maybe the theater duo, but he knows who they are because they're famous here.
Yeah, I think
but
Bond...
Alandi would have met the scientist and the researcher as well as the human resources person.
I think Bond shows up like the cleanest looking and best looking he's looked in a while. But he's not in his Duradera clothes. He is in his clothes he showed up to Duradera and like the OG Bond stuff right now. Like
so
really,
Carveth, with Bond deciding to show up,
he meets with you.
Does that mean you also would be showing up?
I think he meets with him to see before he does.
Yeah, let's play that out.
Yeah.
Maybe like the night before you two talk about it.
I probably show up at the apartment and you get like a light knock and
Yeah.
you see for the first time in literal months a cleaned up, slightly more rested Bond. Not
Is this
drunk
your
at all.
first time at the apartment too
Yes.
in forever?
Yes.
Yeah. Bond,
Hey.
well, it's great to see you. You look great. Come on in.
Thank you. Sorry
Here,
about being so aloof.
No, you're good. I know we all have got our things to do.
Did you talk to Alandi?
Not since the.
Yes, you did.
I did.
No,
like
you did.
telling.
I'm talking about
the whole
that
scene.
meeting that y'all had. Like,
Yeah,
not,
no, I'm saying not since that meeting.
Okay,
I don't
then
think I've talked
Oh,
to.
I think this. I think we were. He was meaning like this is the first time. Asking about that.
I did talk to him. I passed on your note.
Cool.
I didn't want him to read it right then and there. So
That's fine. It's fine. Fully, I appreciate it. Nonetheless,
between you guys. But
hey, listen.
yes.
I know we aren't wanting to be a part of this. But I think for the sake of ourselves and the people, we should at least hear what they're going to be speaking about. We don't have to say anything. We don't even have to add anything. But I would like to have more of an inside look at their plans, as it were. It's not going to be exactly what they're thinking and planning. Like, they're going to keep some stuff closer to the chest than others. But I've been talking to a lot of the people here, and they're just as confused and lost as we are. And we don't even live here. So I think for now, not playing along, but just keeping our ears closed would be beneficial one way or the other.
Keeping our friends close and our enemies closer.
Exactly.
I
won't lie to you. I'm not going to be speaking with our brother today. I'm here for the information, and then I will be leaving. But I will not cause a ruckus, and I will not, unless provoked, say anything off cuff. As far as this goes, you're in charge. Sound good?
I could do that for us.
Good. I think he just hugs you.
Yeah, I was gonna say Carveth goes in for a hug
Because he's standing in the doorway. He hasn't
Yeah.
stepped through the threshold, but
Yeah.
he just gives you a big
It's,
hug. He
it's
doesn't
a
say
long,
anything.
It's
Yeah.
a long hug.
Mm-hmm.
Just
And he just pulls back
got
with
it
a
in
few
there, dude.
tears. Yep.
Yeah.
You in there, bro? I'm in
You in there, bro?
You in there?
I'm in there. I'm in there.
And he just pulls back
I'm
with a
tucked
few
in tight.
tears in his eyes,
tucked
and
in
he
tight.
smiles. And like, this is the first time you've seen him like
Yeah.
genuinely non-sarcastic smile in a while. He's just
Yeah.
like,
I missed you.
it's good to be home.
Yeah.
You, not this. You.
Home is where your brothers are.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. That should be a piece of merch. I'm writing that down.
Home is where your
Home is
brothers
are.
Is
That's
this-
so good.
Is this merch number 2 for
And then
Maddie?
he exactly. And then I think he comes in, and sits down
Yeah.
or whatever before we end
Yeah.
up going to the meeting. If you have anything
Yeah.
else you wanted to.
There are I forgot are there plants and stuff like
Yeah, you've moved plants in now.
Yeah, there's a lot of plants. Like there's a lot of plants.
I picture you have one of those like wall
And-
vines that's just going through the whole
Yes,
apartment.
and all the individual plants have names. So like
like
it's
little hello, my name is.
Yeah, hello, my
the
name
vines,
is-
the vines have cut through the walls
Yeah.
into the adjacent rooms, but they just like it.
Yeah.
Bon is so happy with it. He's
Yeah.
this is. Look what you did. Look at
Yeah.
this.
There's a little
Did you build all these shelves?
I did. I've taken up carpentry and I've been doing a lot of remodeling in here.
This is
You know,
This is like the greenery. I miss.
You know,
God, I just want to touch grass, and we can't. We can't touch grass like that.
I will say,
It's a crime.
as
And he's just touching the leaves on the vines on the
just
wall and
touching them
stuff,
and
just like
crying.
rubbing his face
Yeah.
against it and stuff, just smelling the dirt. Like, this is nice.
I will say that I feel like, obviously this is a shitty situation with us being in space, but, this is the first time that I've ever really had a space of my own. And, not,
I know what you mean.
obviously I would prefer that you guys were here with me. And
Yes,
but it has been nice to really explore my own space. And you see, like, there's a bunch of like plants and everywhere, but there's also like hardcore like workout like stations, and also like a corner of the room is like covered in like candles, and it's like a meditation corner, and there's like super soft like just materials everywhere with like some incense like burning in the room.
Hey, listen, I know we've got some stuff on our plate. But you think maybe, I don't know, like once a week I come by and train with you? Trying to get myself in. I'm trying to do things to get myself out of this funk, and I just kind of been letting myself go and drinking and eating like shit, and I just don't feel good. So like, I don't know, hold me to it.
Yeah, I could.
Once a week I'll come by and we'll do a workout or meditation or something. Something to just.
I could do a whole plan for you. That I got you. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I don't want to overwhelm you. I know it's been
macros look like.
Fuck that shit. I'm not a calorie counter. I want to know how to run good and maybe how to punch good. I haven't used these, and he's like fucking with his maces. Like, I haven't used these in a fat minute.
Yeah, you see,
and they're really heavy now.
There's also
Did you know?
there's also like a dummy in the corner, and it is
beat to shit.
It is splintered to fuck. Like,
okay, yeah, I think I need to be more grounded in using my body and using it what it's for. So I'm trying to introduce myself back into society a little bit, one brother at a time, I guess.
We'll get to the other one soon. I promise.
I hope he read my note.
So the next morning is a bright, beautiful morning, as all artificial day-night cycles are. There's never a rainy day here. And you walk out and the birds are chirping. I don't know how that makes sense. I guess the birds
there's just a chirp
stayed alive
recording.
here.
It's a chirp recording.
It's the robots. They have internal...
Well, birds were here.
Yeah.
And when they closed the dome, I guess the birds got trapped.
Yeah.
So
it's like
maybe there's a group of people keeping the birds.
And every time they move, they fly out.
Oh my god! Can there be nests? Are there nests on the backside of like the moon and the sun?
Oh, that's so good. Yes, there are. Like on the crescent moon, it's like on the crescent.
Yeah.
So, Carveth, you wait. Bond, did you stay the night there, or did you go back to your...
I think because he's working on stuff, he probably stayed for a while, but when Carveth fell asleep, he would leave.
Well, Carveth, you head over to Town Square, where you know City Hall is, where this meeting is going to be taking place, and I would imagine you wait outside for Bond.
Yeah. Carveth will dress up a little bit nicer, like, kind of straighten up his, like, little hood outfit type thing, and just kind of, polish his chain up and slick back his hair a little bit more and just look a little bit more presentable.
I think Bond's just seamed up his robes, made them a little shorter, but like still more prim and proper, like with his disguise kit and stuff. He didn't dye anything with those, but there's like, you can see obviously on the sleeves of them that he's been working with dyes. There's like splotches of like black and red.
Yeah. Well, you meet up together outside of City Hall and walk inside, and the person at the front desk directs you to your conference room that you're going to be going into. And as you walk in, you see everyone else already in attendance. You see a long table with many chairs, more than there are people in this committee. This is clearly for bigger meetings. but you see Barnabas at the head of the table. To his left, you see Jim and Jam, the theater duo. To his right, you see Janelle and Bjorn. And then beside Bjorn is Stephen Frupp. And beside Jam is Alandi, who is looking disheveled as ever, is still half asleep somehow.
Oh no, at this current moment, he's full asleep.
Full asleep?
Yes.
Full asleep somehow
Roll
still.
for sleep.
And as the two of you walk in, you see Barnabas look up and he doesn't say anything, but you see a look of pure shock on his face as he, with his whole mind, body, and soul, did not believe that Bond would be showing up.
Yeah. I think,
Carveth, he didn't necessarily believe either, but he doesn't even say anything because he's not trying to push it.
yeah.
As he makes eye contact with Bond, like Bond's had a normal face. When they lock eyes for a split moment, you just see the most malice you have ever seen in Bond's eyes.
One of those anime like sweat droplets drops
the
on his forehead.
like the lines down his eyes. Like I'll show you a picture after what Bond looked like, but it is horrifying.
Levi.
No, it's that scene in the last season of Attack on Titan when he's staring down at Armin like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Yeah.
So the two of you, do you sit, I assume,
The farthest away from Barney as possible.
So you sit at the other end of this really long table?
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think he goes to do that and Bond stops him and just, we need to be able to hear what they're talking about.
Why not? Why instigate? Yeah.
I mean, it's
I know.
It's not that long, but okay. Well,
just separate, sit between me and Delandi.
Yeah.
You could sit on the other side of the table. But
I figured you'd sit on the other side, like across from
whatever. I don't know how it's set up. We don't have a map to show it.
I just explained it so that it doesn't matter.
I think we would sit next to Alandi, like me. This would be Alandi, me, and then Bond. That way Bond and like Alandi can't potentially meet eyes.
Do you wake Alandi when you sit beside him?
Yeah, I'll like kind of like nudge him and be like,
yeah, I actually think
Bond is just straight ahead.
I think him sitting down next to him actually does stir Alandi to like a half wake up, and then like he fully wakes up when he realizes his brothers are next to him at this meeting. Yeah, because he was absolutely not expecting that. Yeah, and like he is fully awake, but not because he's well rested, but like the thing where like if you get startled awake, you're wide awake. Yeah, so you're still a little out of it, but you're like weirdly focused at the same time. That's where he's at.
So you all, you both sit down, and Barnabas stands up and puts his hands on the table. He says, "Thank you all," and he looks at Bond, "truly, for showing up today. This has not been easy, and I know that I have not done a great job. I feel like it's a safe bet to say I haven't done a very good job for a while. But I want things to change, to get better. Me being the sole voice of the decisions of the city has clearly not been working. So I pulled some of the greatest minds of our city together, and I'm going to step back and let all of you discuss. I will remain here to mediate or answer questions or be a part of the discussion, but I will not be leading this discussion.
This is important for my scene and kind of making sure I still have a good understanding of Barnabas as a character. Does the room have robot guards like along the walls in this room, or is it really just him and the committee? Because if so, it is a huge
really
change.
just him and the committee.
Oh,
there are
the
robot guards in the building.
Where's the nearest
I would
robot?
say
I would say
outside
probably
of the
guarding
room. Yeah, outside of the room, like in the hall.
How many?
But
Is it just one, two?
I would say two. Probably.
So there's a number in the building as you all came in, but there's just the two in the hall.
Yeah, this isn't because like I plan on getting I plan on attacking or
you're
anything.
good.
I
Even
just
if you
think
did, but I mean-
Alondi's opinion of Barnabas, like as like a person,
Yeah.
is very strongly tied to how reliant he is being on those robots. Like that.
So-
it colors his opinion. Is what I'll say.
So this is good actually. Alandi, you've been spending a lot of time with Barnabas, and you have noticed over the last few weeks he has lost a lot of his unearned confidence that he carries himself with. He still he still is typically, his overcompensating jovial self, but you have been able to tell for the last couple weeks he knows he's fucked up, and he doesn't he doesn't know what to do. And him not having guards in this room does feel intentional, because he is trying to get across to everyone at this table, whatever needs to happen, I clearly don't have it.
Well, now, don't be shy. You were all a part of his cabinet before we showed up. Please lead us in the discussion, and we can go from there.
And Janelle, the scientist, speaks up and says, "Well, we weren't really a cabinet, but I see your point."
As essentially now.
No,
we
yeah,
are.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to
Carveth will
instigate anything.
kind of nudge over to Bon and just kind of
I do apologize if my tone seems a bit hostile. We're all gathered here to speak on what it is we could be doing to better life in Duradera, are we not?
Yes.
Has
yes.
any one of you, and I'm being sincere when I ask this, has any one of you asked a single person outside of this room what you could do?
Silence.
Has any one of you
They
asked?
all look back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
These
Has
are
any one of
clearly
you-
the upper crusts of
No, for sure.
the city.
Has any one of you even so much as spoken to them since this, unrelated to the fact that we are hurtling through space with no real rhyme or reason? You see, my frustration is not from anything you've done, but the lack of doing. Do you know their names? Do you know how many of their family members made it? How many of them were left stranded in that desert? How many of them maybe were injured or lost financially due to these new and strenuous circumstances? The way you undercut the only bar in town by giving everyone booze only to cut the booze off. Do you not understand?
Who took a
To
shit
be
in
fair,
the lobby?
I think there is more than just the one bar.
No,
in
for
town.
sure. But still, like,
but no, your
the
point,
one bar
yes.
people are comfortable with going and or can afford. My point is, you've all sat in this room and circle jerked each other off saying it's fine. Have you asked people if they're feeling fine? Look at my brother.
I did create the suggestion box that was unsuccessful.
Barney, I'm gonna
and
need
he
you
said,
to.
he's like right back down.
Barney, I'm really trying here, but look at my brother. And he gestures at Alandi. He's not looking at Alandi. Have any of you even asked him if he's okay? He's a part of your so-called meeting of the minds. Your smartest, your brightest. He's asleep.
No, he's awake right now.
No, I know he's
he's
awake now, but I mean,
he hasn't looked at you the entire time. I would assume,
That's fair.
Yeah, no.
That's fair.
He, through most of these meetings, has been asleep. And why would that be? Barney? Any ideas?
I assume he's
It's a
overworked
rhetorical
himself?
question, Barney. Please don't answer.
Bjorn speaks up and he says, "Look, guy, we're all struggling right now. None of us
Are you really? Were you not in this inner circle to know about these plans before we launched into space, or are you just as lost as the people outside these walls?"
And he clearly,
Yeah. So I'd suggest maybe not speaking as if you've lost anything. You had time to prepare, time to plan.
Really quick, can we just very briefly cut back to Bond promising Carva? I'm not going to stir the pot.
When he said that, I knew that wasn't true.
Yeah, exactly. No, Bond was fully just selling him up the river so he could get a way in to fucking get at these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I knew that wasn't true.
I have spent the last 3 months speaking with these people, getting to know these people, comforting some, offering a shoulder to others, just listening. And it has improved a lot of their lives. And I've done not a single thing to fix their situation. If you want to start somewhere, that's where you need to start. There's no need to hide in this room and have a giant meeting about what you can do. Do it.
Really quickly, this is just another, Alandi, while Bond has been talking, has been keeping his eyes on Barnabas's reaction to what Bond is saying. Mm-hmm. And even if he's not right now, the moment he starts to look agitated, I need you to tell me, because
there has not been... I'm going to say this as loosely, as mostly true. There's not really been an ounce of agitation so much as shame on his face.
Okay. And as long as that's what's there, that's fine.
I feel like I want to be clear in saying, from the moment you guys entered that tent, everything that Barney believed, stood for, whatever, has been constantly
called into question,
exponentially been shaken, called into question, and it's only gotten worse as every day has gone by. And this is him calling this committee, him voluntarily taking a step back, not having guards in the room, is clear evidence that he has lost confidence in himself and doesn't know what to do. So he does not feel agitated by what Bond is saying, because he just takes this as another failure on his own part.
I think if we are to be trapped here in space for the remainder of whatever plans you have concocting, you could at least spend that time dissuading any fear and actually making actionable change for these people to make them comfortable with the fact that you kidnap them from an entire planet. Because rest assured, few in this room may have known what was going on and may have known it was for the betterment of your people. Sure, tell them that. And that's all I'll be saying. I am not a part of this council, but I am here to be a voice for those who you refuse to hear from. And he just sits back in his chair.
Alandi is actually, Alandi would stand up, but he wants to wait to see if any of the other council members have a response.
I think there is a long silence after Bond finishes, because he just rightfully and accurately threw everything in their face. And I think they're all kind of like looking down in shame at the moment. So if you want to interject, you definitely have a moment too.
Alandi is going to. He's not going to stand up, but he is going to kind of straighten himself up. He's not even going to slightly turn his head towards Bon or Carveth. Like, he is addressing the rest of the committee and like not looking at either of them. And my brother, he's right. He's the people ain't happy. I don't think I needed to tell you that. Town Square is not exactly looking golden.
I think that might have been the happiest they were. Destroying Town Square.
They haven't even been coming to any of our plays, Jam says.
Yeah,
That's right, they haven't, Jim says.
so
God, I hate them so much, but I love them.
What?
yeah. So
Bon just he goes to say something, but he cuts himself off.
Yeah.
Just no.
So I, as you guys, most of you know at this point, Bonnie has been prioritizing, trying to brainstorm, get things running smooth again these past couple months. He's allowed me to kind of shoulder a lot of the civility responsibilities.
Did you mean to rhyme just there, or was that an accident?
No, that was a happy accident.
I liked it.
Carveth just glares over at Barney like, not the time.
So I'm assuming most of you guys don't know. And honestly, it's something I'm still pretty foggy about. But it's something that I've been concerned about. Bonnie, can I just say, it means a lot to me personally, as someone who had mixed feelings about you coming in, that, you've been a lot more chill when it comes to gods. You have given me a little bit more leeway with kind of taking them. You've been slowly getting more hands off with me. You've been letting the gods kind of keep a further distance from you. It's I as someone who has been working with you over this time, I personally appreciate it. I wish the citizens would see more of that. But I also know.
I think when he says that, Bond for the first time looks at him.
I also know that there's another reason that
It's not an agreeing look.
Not at all. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's very much a look of, what the fuck are you saying?
There's another reason that we're seeing less gods, and it's because gods are getting broken a lot more than they used to be. And I don't know exactly how the whole process works. Bonnie, I don't remember if I've brought this up to you before, but it's definitely something I'm concerned with. The God supply and the God demand not matching up. And it's not a problem right now.
Yeah.
We're still good. But
That's definitely part of the reason that we're forming this committee.
I personally think, and I'd be happy to lead it if that can be my part in this committee, but I think we really need to reevaluate the robotics process.
In what regard, Alandi?
He pauses when you say that, and he still doesn't look at you. And he just looks down kind of towards you, but straight ahead. And he goes,
to what end?
no one in this room, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Barnabas, no one in this room, outside of yourself has a good understanding of how the robots are getting made, how they're getting,
Well, Janelle definitely knows. Like, she's our head scientist.
Okay, so Janelle is the person. Sorry, I hadn't had the privilege to meet yet. Janelle.
Let me.
Barney.
And sorry for cutting you off. Let me.
I don't think you
see
are.
if I'm gathering what you are proposing, my dear brother. You are, in response to people's, let's just say, uneasy emotions at their current circumstance, are suggesting a heavier policing of these people?
The robots are not just police.
Tell that to the people who have been literally taken away. Some of them come back.
I'm not saying that the policing is not one aspect of them, but especially with the number of people who... Hold on, you got to go on a monologue and made all these people in this room feel guilty. I'm just saying.
Bond just says unbelievable and turns away from him.
He still never looked at you. He's just.
I know you're not looking at him, but he's making it a point that he is not looking at you.
He looks at the and he says, "There's a reason that a lot of poles are still knocked over. There's a reason Town Square still isn't fixed." And it's because we had a combination of robot and human manpower, and the manpower ain't what it used to be, and the robot power ain't what it used to be, because both are in short supply right now. I can't win hearts and minds.
But you can put people to work or in jail.
No, I'm not trying to put the people to work. That's my whole point. You want me to give? Do you want to force people to work, or do you want to make more robots so we don't have to? It sounds like you're going to be pissed off no matter what we do.
Janelle,
it sounds like you are just building a police force.
I believe what he's trying to suggest is that we more so divert the robot guard specifically like away from policing and towards like city upkeep. Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm sorry. If you believe that us in this room can trust each other, do you think the people are going to trust that they're now... Sure, they're cleaning up today. Sure, they're fixing Town Square. But then what happens when the work is done? You've got an army of police. And if they try to riot again, well, will they be able to? Will they be successful?
Barnabas speaks up. What is it that we could do to earn that trust again?
Get out there and do the work yourselves. Be in the streets with these people. Give them purpose again. Don't have them aimlessly worried about whether or not we'll crash into a new planet or float into the orbit of some moon or star. You don't know where we're going, do you, Barney? I need you to be honest with me here. You have no idea where we're going, do you?
We are working,
Barney, I have been...
Okay, no.
I have been very patient. I need a yes or no.
Alandi slams the table and for the first time looks at Bon. Why are you in this room? You are nothing but lecturing these people. You don't want them to take your side. You want to whine at them. Why are you in this fucking room?
What the fuck are you talking about? No, seriously, what are you talking about? You have been at the heels of this dog shit leader who is pushing us into the void with no plan in sight, with no even inkling of what the people want or need.
On the comment of this dog shit leader, Alandi is going to turn to Barnabas and be like, you need to ask my brother to leave. He is not here to be productive.
Oh, you don't have to ask me to leave. I'll be leaving myself.
Don't come back.
Hey, lose that note I gave you. And he fucking storms out.
Carveth gets up. Well, I think that went exactly how I thought that was going to go. I bid you adieu. Goodbye. And Carveth just walks out.
I think we hang in the room as the two of them leave, and Barnabas looks frustrated now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And looks at you, Alandi, and says, "What the fuck was that?"
Bond does not do well with authority. He means well.
But we know that. Like, I've interacted with your brothers. That's not news. Like, I invited all of you to be a part of this committee because I wanted voices outside of this circle of people. Like, sure, I don't know if we were coming to a point or if he was just lecturing us, like you said, but to instigate like that,
It was not my intention to instigate. It was actually my intention to get something productive out of this meeting. Half of the people in this meeting never got a word in. And as long as he was in this room, that wasn't going to change. He'd already decided that no one in this room could do anything. He expected you to go out like in the streets with a shovel. That's not the best use of your time. You can be more helpful to the people doing something else. And that is something that I love my brother. He will never be able to understand.
So what you're suggesting is that you have all of the answers, and that you know what we should all be doing. So go ahead.
Absolutely not.
Out with it.
Janelle, I don't know how much you know about my background, but I don't have the answers. But I made one suggestion, and before any of you could give input, Bond took over again. And I just didn't think, I mean, you can correct me. Listen, Janelle, if you really do, if you think that Bond's approach of just kind of bogarting the whole situation, bogarting the whole committee is the approach, that's fine. I'll step out because that just seems like it's the whole reason Bonnie formed the committee to begin with is so that more than one person could talk. And the way I see it, Bond was just taking over as the person talking.
Barney speaks up. I'm not suggesting that that Bond was ramping to a solution and you stopped him before he could reach that conclusion. But I don't know how sending him away like that helps us. He was bringing up a different perspective. I understand that not everyone has spoken or has spoken as much, but you have to recognize you did just single-handedly decide that someone doesn't belong in this committee.
No.
I don't know where you you get off that. No, you did.
Barnabas,
You did.
I asked you to have him leave and then he just left. That's not the same thing.
But you, okay, let's not pretend that anyone in this room knows your brothers better than you do. I think you knew pretty damn well that you were like, let's not be coy here.
I'm not saying that I'm not the reason he left, but listen, Bonnie, I have been trying to work with you for 3 months. I thought we were starting to get closer. If you think I'm in the wrong here, then I believe you. I'm in the wrong. But like you said, I know my brothers. That would have been the whole meeting. This back and forth never happened. Every 2 lines, he would speak up and tell us why we're wrong. I love him. I love him to death. He is not a person who he doesn't yes and. He no but.
I think that that's enough for today.
God damn.
I think that this meeting is adjourned, and we will meet again next week. I've got some stuff to think about. As I'm sure many of you do as well. Yeah. And he gets up and walks out.
Water is the Vaseline of the mouth.
I almost shot Dr. Pepper out of my nose.